This is the original path when I very first came out here, and you can see this is all of this out here used to be woods, just like you see the pine trees back there, but they chopped it all down. So these trees immediately in front of us are actually, believe it or not, somewhat young. I mean, not these pine trees, but these other guys. These little tiny pine trees here, these are all brand new within the past like year and a half, I would say. Well, a lot of this has in fact developed. Kind of in a good like swampy type area, way tucked back, which is where maybe not see some footage of me in the future doing some hunting. And so you'll see, I don't know if you can see exactly where I'm pointing. There's that tall single tree out there, looks like a pine tree, and then there's the one next to it to the right. That's where we're headed. So yeah, these skinny guys here, they were a lot shorter when I had previously come to this spot. I've only actually camped at this spot, I think only once. No, you know what? I've camped here twice. Yeah, I've camped at this spot twice, and I've camped at that other spot I was talking about earlier. I've camped at that spot maybe half a dozen times. Yeah, you can imagine, you know, walking around in all of this in a blizzard. I think I remember. Ooh, there's a nice tree right there I can take for firewood. Sweet. Yeah, you can imagine all of this covered in like 2 feet of snow before the blizzard, and then blizzard comes. I say blizzard because I think overnight we gained somewhere between 4 and 6 inches. So yeah, that's that. So we get through here. Let's see if I remember. Oh, still more signs of deer. Signs of deer everywhere in here. I need to figure out their pattern. This was the other part of the challenge too. All these thorn plants. Did I come over too far to the right? I might have came too far to the right. I'm gonna have to consult my GPS unless I find it over here. I'll take a gander over here to the left, which would be, what is this? Yeah, this is still north. Going north. Ah, thorns! So, I want to say it's over there. Let me consult my GPS real quick and I'll get back to you guys. Yep, turned out I was right. It's like right over in that direction. Basically, right where my stick is pointing. It's like right there. So, let's see, get through these stupid thorns. Let's see, we gotta go through this way. Here we are. We found her. So many of you have seen my videos or pictures. If you know me, like I said, this used to be a very nice solid log, which obviously no longer is. And I put the tent right here because the trees were a nice wind block. And then obviously I had my fire right here. So I'm gonna get to clearing this area because I don't like moving a fire spot once I've already used one. Which just is less footprint. And not only that, you know, it's less chance. If you know you're not going to start a fire where it's at, then, you know, chances of it starting a fire in the future is probably not going to happen, as long as you're being careful. I don't want to be cheesy, but, you know, like Smokey the Bear says, it only you can prevent forest fires. I almost said it ain't easy being cheesy. Yeah, about that. All right, so I'm gonna get to getting this spot quick, and then I'll get back to you. And I'm looking like I probably want to go right here. What I'll do is I'll tie between this tree here and this tree here. Nope, don't focus on me, focus on the tree. That tree there and this tree here. They look far away, but I kind of need that because I have a big tarp. And then I'll be putting my bivvy inside the tarp shelter. So I'll have the tarp shelter is going to be 3 ways. I'll do the long side, you know, this way, short side coming this way. I'm gonna have my tent literally between the trees, and then I'll do the tarp ridge line, you know, maybe like this far above the bivvy, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches. You don't want too much because it's just, what it's doing is it's like almost adding an insulated air barrier. So the cold from outside comes into the first chamber, and then in the first chamber it's able to change temperatures a little bit according to what's in the interior shelter, which will be my body heat. So in theory it should work. We'll find out. But I will get to setting up that because I don't have too much time, and then get that firewood. But I will get back to you guys once I have the area cleaned out and I'm ready to put the tent up. That way I can kind of go through and explain the tent and how neat it is, and then it'll be getting the firewood and campfire ready for tonight. All right, well, I got a little bit of it cleared out. Now I just gotta flatten it out. Luckily, the ground in this forest is pretty soft, duffy, pine leaves, you know, all that fun stuff. So I can just move it around wherever I want. It's a little bit of underground stuff here, but nothing I can't take care of, you know. So just working on flattening it out right now. And once I get it flattened out, like you can see, I'm going from this guy here to this guy over here. So I gotta at least flatten out the center area where I'm gonna lay the tent. That is gonna make it more comfortable for me, for sure. And that tent, I need like 7 to 8 feet of good flat ground. You know, flat isn't super crucial. I have a like I said, I have a sleeping mat. is I'm gonna lay down inside of the bivvy, and then I'll be using a blanket. I'm gonna sleep. Normally, I don't change into warmer pajamas when I'm camping, but tonight with no sleeping bag and just a blanket or two, I think it would be smart for me to at least wear, you know, some fleece or flannel pants and a long sleeve top, possibly even a hoodie. You need something to cover your head. So it looks like, for the most part, I got this kind of flattened out here. You can hear gunshots in the distance. I think there's a fire range. It's not anywhere close to me. I don't have any risk of getting hit by anything. They're either at a fire range or something, because there's no hunting season right now. So, but that's fine. The other spot, the poison ivy spot, I like to call it. There was a kid from Plymouth one time. I was meeting up with another person to camp at that site at that time, and he got there before me. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's this kid here, and he's got a gun. I don't know what he's up to." You know, you're in the woods. You're not gonna hurt anyone out here. You're shooting, you know, as long as you and them are being careful. So, yeah, I was like, "Oh, okay, some kid. You know, he looks like an urban kid and from the cities and type stuff." And then I get there, and yeah, sure enough, white suburbanite kid, Plymouth, just shooting his 22. You know, he said he never really came out here before, and I was like, cool. Then I told him, I said, "Just to let you know, we do have tent camping set up, such and such place. You shouldn't have to worry about us. We're out of bullet range. You know, 22s can only ricochet so much. Typically they get stuck in a tree anyways. Especially pine trees. Pine trees are so soft, it'd probably get halfway through the tree and just stop. Harder trees like oaks, depending on how it hits, or walnuts, whatever tree, you know, it possibly could ricochet. But where we had our poison ivy camp spot, you know, it wasn't, it was like, basically, here's his line of sight, and then there's like a path that comes this way, and then this way, and then we were over here. So you had to take like 2 or 3 good right hand turns through a bunch of trees, so there was no way he was going to shoot us. The shooting's happening over that way. I'm pretty sure there's a shooting range there. If not, there's an equestrian, you know, houses by, you know, kind of close, like half a mile-ish or something like that, you know, so people could just be shooting in their backyards. I don't know the rules about that in this area. I know obviously in the cities you can't shoot anywhere. Yeah, so it's kind of cities, but it's not really, so you know, whatever. But normally people who have their gun license and all that, they at least around in this area of Minnesota, they're really good at following the rules. You know, they don't want their guns taken away because it's stupid stuff. So let's see here. I have pretty much got this where I'm gonna need it. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take and find some leaves, because I've made bare dirt now. I want to put leaves down before I put all of my camping stuff down. So what I'll do next is I will get to raking some of this stuff up. Let's see here. Let me go here. You know, it's about a 3 foot wide by 7 to 8 foot, you know, thing. So let's see how far away these trees are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Get poked in the eye. 14, 15, 14 to 16 feet apart. It's a little far with the tarp I'm using. It's actually a good distance. If I was just using the bivvy by itself, and I can explain further. I can use it as a hammock tent if I choose. It's like a 3-in-1 guy. But if I was to hammock it, I would definitely not want anything further than 10 feet. 10 feet is usually about good. Like I said, it's close to an 8-foot tent, so that gives a foot on each side. You know, you want a minimum of 10 feet. Depending on how comfortable and flat you want it, you probably could go a little bit wider. Like these trees here at 14 to 16 feet could possibly work. I just find that the further you get away, the more chance it has to sink and get lower to the ground, which, depending on how you set it up, you know, you could end up actually your butt touching the ground by the time you wake up. So, and I think that's kind of with any hammock setup, really. I do have a quick hammock. It's in the car. I'm not going to use it because it's going to get cold, and I don't feel like doing all the extra, you know, making hot coals and put it underneath the hammock and all that stuff. So it's going to be ground tarp, tent, moving blanket, thermomat, and then my blanket, and then that's how I'm going to sleep tonight. So let's get to getting some leaves up, pat this down a little bit, and then I will get to setting the tent up, and then so I will get back to you guys once I start setting the tent up, because gathering leaves is pretty boring, let's just face it. So I'll see you in a second. So I did learn from last time, gotta take water breaks. I'm actually really terrible at drinking water on normal day-to-day life, but especially when you're being you know, active and building stuff, moving around, or anything, you should be drinking water. You should drink your weight in water a day, and I seriously, like, I'm lucky if I drink maybe this much in 2 days of water. I normally just get my water from coffee, tea, juice, you know, stuff like that. Powerade, Gatorade. It's really bad for you, I know. I've been working on it, but here's to lessons learned. Yeah, that's the good stuff. I may or may not have to set you somewhere else to get a better view, or I could just use my phone. Maybe I'll do that. I'll hang my phone somewhere. But right now I'm just gonna lay out the tarp, and yeah, maybe I'll have to set my phone somewhere.